Astro van, Safari van, GMC van enthusiasts and aficionados. It's September the 14th, 2024. It's a Saturday. It's 8:34 a.m. on the East Coast of the United States. I'm in Homestead, Florida, USA, south of Miami, north of Key Largo. My name is Dennis Sietsma, Dennis John Sietsma Productions, Homestead, Florida. This is a video documentary about my 1994 Chevy Astro van that I bought new, and I'm installing a remanufactured engine by Powertrain Products. But a couple of parts arrived yesterday. I got this from Napa. It's their brand, part number 81398, 3/8 internal lock washer, tooth lock washer. The electrical grounding and bonding on the GMs are a problem with corrosion. I don't have a problem with this van, but I'm going to run extra ground wire anyway from the front of the engine to the back of the engine to the the ground for the fuel pump, because so many people talk about fuel pump failures. I also bought a kit on the internet of from Amazon that has a lot of these I can't find it right now, but anyway I'm having a hard time finding these in a lug that I can solder to. Yes, I can put a connector on it, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. I've marked this a little bit better. My 4L60E transmission cooler hardline flare nuts, 5/16 inch OD, but more importantly, the inverted flare 5/16 union is Dorman part number 785-314, D as in dog. So if you need to repair a transmission line, this is the stuff you need. And I got rid of my hose clamp on the upper water pump, and yesterday I got a lot of these bolts that are hard to find. General Motors uses a lot of them, and these bolts as well. Ordered these on Amazon. I'll try to get a picture of the part numbers and stuff and post them later, but I got a lot of work to do, so I can't talk too much. But yesterday I did do a little more work on the van in between the rain showers, and I have a lot to do today, and we'll talk about that as we get into it. I really don't know how much I'll get done today, but I would have done myself a big favor had I separated the blade and the thermal assembly from the water pump and just installed the water pump, because it would have been a fraction of the weight, and I probably wouldn't have made such a big mistake installing it. And I put coolant in it, and the coolant's going somewhere, but it's not a large volume like it was before, so I assume that I may have other things to look into regarding loss of fluids once I get further into the work that I plan to do today. It's 8:38 now, so I'm going to stop talking and get to work. Thanks for watching. Okay, yesterday I crawled under the passenger side of the van, and I did the cross member that supports the transmission mount. I'll be installing a new transmission mount today. I'm not going to crawl under there to show you, but I did put never sees on all of the bolts and then tighten them. I still have to do the exhaust manifold on the passenger side, never sees, and tighten those. I'm going to move over to the driver's side and do the transmission, the cross member on it next, and attempt to install the transmission mount, the new one that I bought at AutoZone, and move on from there. Let's move towards the front of the vehicle, see what I can talk about there. I got the water pump on yesterday, and I think I did it right this time. Like I said, I would have been ahead of the game. Oh, camera's all fogged up. I'm going to stop it for now. We'll come back after the temperatures equalize. My target audience is Astro van enthusiasts, GMC van enthusiasts, Safari van enthusiasts, and automotive enthusiasts. Today's Saturday, September 14th, 2024. It's 11:34. It's been a busy morning for me so far. I'll tell you what I've done. But I got a few problems to sort out first. I put coolant in here, and the massive leak is gone, but I'm still losing coolant somewhere. So I could hit the key and pray and see where it's going. Or it could be going into the cylinders, and that would cause hydro lock and immediately bend connecting rods or other damage. So rather than doing that, I'm going to do what I tell everybody. Go to the harmonic balancer and put a socket and a ratchet on there and turn it through by hand and make sure there's no hydro lock. I always tell them to take the spark plugs out, but that's too much work to do here. What I've done so far today is I did get under here and I tightened up all of the bolts holding this cross member assembly. Where's my hand? Okay. And I should have done that last. I should have left the cross, because it would have been much easier to replace that transmission mount that I broke had I done the support, because I had it loose and I had it off to install the muffler. So that's what I could have done better, is leave the cross member for last. Instead I did it first, then I figured out where everything went. Now you notice that lip on the mount behind the transmission. It's important. I take some pictures. I should have taken more pictures before I took it apart, because the orientation of the mount and that bracket is critical, and you can do it wrong 3 times before you do it right, like I did. But I should have done the mount and the bracket first and then did the cross member last. I also tightened up all 6 bolts on the exhaust manifold. I'm noticing something here leaking, both from the ABS, which is probably brake fluid. I see a little drippy leak there, so I need to check those connections on the ABS, the Kelsey Hayes 4WAL ABS. And I also see a drippy leak on the transmission line I fabricated for the cooler, and it's leaking right at the transmission, so I need to crawl under here and tighten that up. Most of the sockets for the cross member and the were like 15 and 16 millimeter or bigger, so have a complete set of deep well impact sockets and a ratchet and a couple extensions when you're trying to do that. As far as the water pump, I told you I should have had it in pieces and put the pump on first, and I may still have it wrong because that coolant's going somewhere, or I'm just haven't filled it up to capacity yet. I don't know which. So enough talking. I'm gonna next get out here with a breaker bar and turn it through by hand. I got that nice bolt now with a big place to put my socket to turn it through by hand, and I'll make sure that the engine's not hydro locked. And if it turns through smoothly, then I'll start putting the belt on and the upper radiator shroud and get ready to prepare to attempt to start the engine if it doesn't rain. I hear thunder in the distance, so and it's a beautiful day for flying here in South Florida, so Audience, thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up if anything interesting here. You can subscribe or drop out anytime you like. Dennis John Seatsma Productions, Homestead, Florida, USA. Do-it-yourself work can cause death or injury, so do at your own risk. This is a documentary, not a how-to. I make a lot of mistakes in here, and I tell you about them later when I realize what I've done wrong. And I would tell you before, but I didn't know, or I wouldn't have made the mistake, right? Like everything else in life. So, thanks for watching. Next segment. Okay, it's 2:25 in the afternoon now, fans. Astro van, Safari van, GMC van fans. September 14th, it's a Saturday, 2:25 in the afternoon. Management graciously allowed a few more days on this project after I explained the situation to management, and I've been working pretty hard today, too busy to talk. Got the leak on the transmission sorted. It was a 13mm line wrench, and I hadn't tightened it enough, or it was loose I should say. Finished the transmission mount and did the exhaust manifolds, got those on, got the belt on, put together the upper radiator shroud and the air filter, and I've got some problems with the fit on this oil fill tube, but I'll get that sorted after it quits raining. I got thunder and lightning coming, so I don't want to get hit by lightning. I still have the drippy leak on the ABS to get sorted. Don't know what that is. I got number 1 spark plug hanging down. I need to put that on. This engine, I tested, is not hydro-locked. I was able to turn it through by hand just fine. So it's not hydro-locked, as I feared, because I didn't know where that coolant was going to, and I still don't. So, with that said, pretty soon I'll put the front grille on and the turn signals, and it'll look more like a working van again before I even try to start it, because I don't want to get frustrated if it won't start, and if it's not in pieces, I feel better. My attitude is better, and plus that tells me that I've found all the parts. I haven't lost anything. Now I'm not going to put these on until later because I should have put them on earlier and I forgot, so I'll get those later. I'll have to take the upper fan shroud off again to get those in, or when I work on the air conditioning, I'm going to replace the accumulator tank. When I get around to working on the AC, I'm going to replace this Delphi part number 2, I don't know, can't read it, 2615, I think, 2615, maybe. Anyway, I got to get the same exact one, otherwise it won't fit, and there's like 5 of them on the website, so I'm confused. This AC worked before I swapped the engine, and of course I had to break something to get this out of the way so I could get the engine out without, yeah, I had to. So when the condenser core came out, this one line got damaged, and when I went to put a new one on, I probably damaged that. But you know, they say in the Navy, if you, and I was never in the Navy, but I have friends that were, they said if you're not making waves, you're not making way. And I lost some bolts and nuts and stuff into this plastic thing, so I got to get like a leaf blower, real high air pressure, and blow whatever is in there. And I tried magnets, and I just can't recover the stuff that's stuck in there. Why they made it so intricate here in the front, I don't think they were thinking about mechanics dropping tools when they designed it. But anyway, audience, it's coming along. Thanks for watching. Do-it-yourself work can be dangerous. This is not a do-it-yourself or how-to. This is a documentary. Do-it-yourself work that is done at your own risk can result in death or injury. Thanks for watching. 6/17, Saturday, September 14th, 2024. 6:17 in the evening, East Coast, United States of America. Saturday, September 14th, 2024. Got a little more work done. You'll notice the difference right away, I think, from a distance. We got our front grille on and our headlight valances installed. Driver's side needs to be replaced, the headlight valance. It's got two busted El Busto there and El Busted there. And the passenger side's in good shape. The upper, I got that on good now. The body shop didn't have it on good, so I JB welded some grommets in the, because everything else was corroded. Anyway, I need to find screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, that'll hold the top on. And it's pretty sturdy without it, and this one's busted. And I got a new grill in 2017, and it's been a few miles on it since. So next I'll connect the number 1 spark plug and crawl underneath and crank the engine and see if the starter has the proper alignment, if it's fully engaging, and if it has the right 20 thousandths tolerance, the adjustment on the starter. And I'm not even going to try to start this until, if it starts, it starts, but I'm not trying to start it until I get everything sorted. I don't want to skip steps. But anyway, number 1 spark plug will be popped on next, and that won't take very long. Maybe a few minutes if I can still stand up and walk without falling over. And it's been raining, and I came out a few minutes ago and it started to drizzle again. So just, you know, whether the sun's out or not. So anyway, audience, I will carry on. Okay, September 14th, 20 minutes of 7. Got the battery connected. Oh, and I think I got everything hooked up for it to start. I may have a few things still hanging loose that need to be addressed. Need to work next on the compressor, air conditioning compressor supports in the back. I don't know why you need all that, but it's there, and came from GM like that, so I'm sure there's a reason. And I don't know if this will start or not, but I want to see if it cranks at least. And see if we get any oil pressure when we start, if it starts. Okay, no start. I don't know if I have no fuel pressure or I have no spark. I would be willing to bet no spark, because I think I got fuel pressure. I put a new fuel pump in the tank last summer, like a year. Boy, a year went by like whoosh, and 5 years has gone by fast too. But at least it's cranking, and I think the new starter that I put in is reliable. I didn't put a new water pump though, and I guess I should have. And all of this smart stuff, smartphone, smartwatch, but it doesn't know when I tell it to shut up. It doesn't understand that, and I ain't that smart. Well, at least it's cranking, and it sounds like a normal crank. I don't hear any backfire or pushback. Or okay, it's holding coolant pretty well. Let's see what we're leaking under here. Alright, well, I'm leaking something, and it seems to be in this area here somehow. So maybe I got a line that's not tight enough on the transmission cooler, I would guess. Don't ever taste a fluid to see what it is, but yep, tastes like transmission fluid. Don't ever do that. You didn't see me do it. And this here also tastes like transmission fluid. Leaks are bad. Leaks. I don't like leaks. Okay, and why doesn't she start? So the easiest thing for me to do is check the fuel pressure next. Easy. Okay, 6:44. September 14th, 2024. It's a Saturday evening, 6:44 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, I got the fuel gauge connected, and this thing's so old. Need to buy another one. When I bought it, I thought I'll never use this thing, and I've used it for years. But this is Tygon tube, that yellow tubing, and so let me get into the cockpit and see if we get any pressure when it's cranking. And the way it should work is as soon as you turn the key on, it ought to pop on for 2 seconds and come up to pressure as the prime. And if it doesn't have that, then there's something else wrong. Okay, no fuel pressure, none at all. And it should have it the first 2 seconds when you turn on the key. Okay, that's probably why no start. So let's see if we have any ignition. Let me get my ignition tester. Okay, I'm testing between the ignition coil and the distributor, because you can have a problem with the rotor or a problem with the distributor and not, you say, oh no spark. You need to check spark at the output of the ignition coil, and that's what I'm doing here. Now, this is my go-to tester. I like this one the best. This is model 10026, and this is an old school one, but I like it the best because it flashes. And who makes it? Who makes it? Four star Instruments. Yeah, I think it says Oregon was the label when I bought it. I bought this online, model 10026 spark tester. So let's see if we got any spark. Hey, Sparky. Yeah, plenty of spark. Okay, so my problem is no fuel pressure for some reason. Interesting. Let me pause the camera for a minute. I'm going to try it between number 1 cylinder and we'll see if we get spark there. Okay, in this configuration I have it between the number 1 terminal on the distributor cap and the number 1 spark plug, so it won't fire as often. It'll fire once every 2 revolutions. Every other revolution it'll fire. I always have people complain about no spark on my Mercruiser 3.7 Marine engine group, a little 4-cylinder that makes big power, up to 190 horse in the 4-barrel configuration, 165 horse with the 2-barrel, and has a Ford head out of a V8 engine, marinized of course, and also has Ford pistons and Ford rods. And I founded that group because people don't understand that engine very well. What a gem it could be if it's done right. And most people try to work on it like a steel block engine with a steel head, and they destroy it because the block is aluminum and it will flex if you don't torque the head bolts right. Keep telling people that. Service Bulletin 81-30, read it. Love it, live it, or your engine will self-grenade. Alright, anyway, back to the fuel pressure problem and or spark. Let's see if we got spark on number 1. Yeah, I got spark. Okay, so why don't I have fuel pressure? Alright, well, I know there is a fuel prime bung. Let me show you that. That is used. It's a Saturday evening. Gotta play that music loud, like I want to hear their music. If it was Led Zeppelin, maybe would be okay. Anyway, here's the prime bug. If you want to bypass all the safeties, you apply 12 volts there, and that'll give you fuel pressure. So that's a cheat, but I may have to cheat. There's my little red wire. Let me put 12 volts on there and see what happens. Okay, I got this bypassed, and this is a 30 amp fuse, so if anything was wrong, terribly wrong, I wouldn't burn the wires up. It would pop the fuse. And I heard the fuel pump start up as soon as I connected it. I heard it. Let's see if I got fuel pressure now. Okay, got plenty of fuel pressure. We'll see if it starts. Probably will. Let's see. It's trying to start, but the timing is off. Way off. So, how do I set the timing? But at least I got fuel pressure, and let's see what we got pressure wise. Okay, it's like 65 or so with it bypassed. Why I didn't have fuel pressure with the engine, I'm not sure yet. The power for the fuel pump goes through the oil pressure sending unit. So if you don't have enough oil pressure, it won't let you start. It won't let you, the safety will think you have low oil pressure and prevent your engine from running or starting. Alright, I got to ferret out the timing issue first. But this is promising. Okay, I'm too tired to ferret this out tonight, so audience, you're going to have to stay tuned for the next episode. Same bat channel, same bat station, to be continued, as they said in Lost in Space. But anyway, what I see happening here is the timing's off, and I have no fuel pressure. Now, I could, if I had wanted to, I could put a jumper on here to bypass the oil pressure sender that prevents the fuel pump from running, and see if that's the problem, is the oil pressure sender is not working as intended. That could be my problem, but I don't know without doing more troubleshooting, and I'm too tired, and I might make big mistakes when I'm tired, so I'm going to quit for the day. This is the last segment for the 14th of September, but we're getting close to hearing this thing roar and run as a running drivable engine. But before I get that far, I want to finish with the air conditioning support brackets, and I got this emissions tube here. I need to do that, and I want to look at the wiring again one more time. I don't want my wiring rubbing anywhere or stretching, or this is why I do my own work, is so I can check, triple check, double check, and sort these problems myself. And it's not that I don't trust the professionals, it's just there's things they're good at, like leaks. You know, I could take this in after I get it running and say fix the leaks, and they would do it and say no problem. They're really good at fixing leaks. And the professionals know you can lose the whole shebang in a ball of flame or have an accident or something due to a leak. So they've got a keen eye at the general mechanic shops or dealers or you know, auto centers. They really have a keen eye for leaks, and they're good at it. So, but stuff like this, you know, knuckle busting pulling stuff apart, putting it back together to the fastidious level that I like to do. Like noticing that I need to order one of these and replace it, and using the bolts that I like to use as opposed to the bolts that General Motors used. I went to grade 8 of almost every number 8 on almost everything, and I went to flange head bolts, or better for ease of use, and I changed the clamps to the kind of clamps I like. You know, I think they're easier to work and more reliable. So, and the little mosquitoes are going to come out soon. So, I'm going to button this up for the night, I think. And audience, thumbs up if you like anything, and subscribe or drop out as you please. I would appreciate if you stayed subscribed, because that shows I have an audience. And I don't need an audience, but you know, what am I doing this for if I don't have an audience? So I hope that either this helps somebody either now or in the future, especially this, what you just saw me do, using the fuel pump prime bung to bypass everything and get fuel pressure. And that's a troubleshooting tip. I hope you like that tip, but it has to be fused. Don't do this without a fuse.